Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, today is Tuesday, November 24th, and yesterday on Monday, this little guy came back to me, the DJI Mini 2. Now, as you may or may not recall, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, last time I was out here at the Snake River Canyon, for my initial flight with this guy, I took it out over the canyon, and it kind of went into a little death spiral out there a ways. We were able to recover it and get it back. Out of an abundance of caution, I sent it back to DJI support, got a hold of DJI support, started a ticket, sent it back, and they did indeed find a bad main board on the drone that no doubt was a contributing factor to whatever happened that day. So anyway, the drone is back. It was a full, at no cost to me, warranty repair. And essentially what they did, and I kind of thought they would do that, I literally ended up with a new drone. It's a different serial number. I looked up the serial number. This drone that I got back is a different serial number than the one that I sent in. So, and it had all the stickers on it and everything. So I believe it was they just sent me a new one. But in any case, I just think, what else are we going to do for the first flight of this guy upon getting it back from DJI? But we're going to send it right back out over the canyon here. So yeah, I mean, let's quit messing around. Let's get this thing in the air. Okay, so I started a screen recording. Well, let's just take a look at the settings so that you guys can see that. We are in 4K 30 frames per second, and I've already preset. I'm going to go and look at the presets, but as you can see, I put grid lines on there. I also have my distance set to no limit, max altitude set to 120 meters. Now with the new update, it automatically sets your return to home at 100 meters. I have it set at 50 here. I will say, when I got the drone, I did have to do the latest firmware update, and let's look at that for a second. And yeah, it's still showing 1.01.00, but which is interesting because I did do the firmware. So that's interesting that it says that. Let's go back to the main page here. Yeah, now so we know it updated because it's got the colors on there. I don't know why why it's not showing the update on the firmware, but I did do it last night and it accepted it and said complete. So that's odd. We'll just take that into consideration. I'm going to go ahead and start recording now, and it says takeoff permitted, so I think we should go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit takeoff right here. I'm going to hit takeoff right here on the app. Okay, first time in the air with this little guy, and as usual, it's nice and steady. A little bit of a wind has come up here. I didn't show UAV forecast, but it's, I think, 3 mile an hour sustained with 9 mile an hour gusts, so not too bad. I'm going to bring it in here just a little, and we're going to rock it back and forth. I like being able to show you that gimbal at work, and you know, everything appears to be working, and we're kind of looking a little bit into the sun here because the winter, you know, the sun is low in the sky in the winter. But in any case, we're going to do our usual droney. So reverse and up now. And as you can see, I've got my wife Sarah here helping us out today. She got that takeoff on the Osmo Action. So we're up about 26 meters. We're just kind of cruising along the rim of the canyon here. We'll grab a little more altitude. And I think we should start heading out over the canyon. So I'm giving it a little bit of roll to the drone's right and getting out over the canyon here as we back up. So now let's just go straight to the drone's right. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the Snake River. I never get tired of looking at this view. And that's me yawing just a little bit there to get the river in the center. So let's go ahead and turn around and face the other direction and get you a look at the countryside here a little bit. And we'll get the drones back to the sun, so we should get a little bit better picture then. Yeah, looking into that harsh sun, it's always difficult, so this will give us a lot better view. So we're going to go full stick forward, and we are in normal mode here. And this is pretty close to the area that I had trouble with. I'm going to call it my other Mini, because it really is not the same drone. They gave me back a different drone than what I sent them, which is fine, all well and good. Understand that if you send a drone into DJI for repair, you may not necessarily get back the same drone that you sent them. They could send you back a refurbished product, or just in my case, I'm quite sure that the one they sent me was brand new. But in any case, you know, you have the peace of mind of knowing that they checked it all out. So we're about 37 meters high, and this is roughly the same spot where my original Mini on my first flight went into a death spiral. So it did it upon turning around. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to turn it around slowly and head back the other direction. And this will give you a good look at the terrain here. This is just beautiful. Now, of course, we'll be looking back into the sun here, so this will be a little bit more difficult. But let's just head straight on forward here. And the drone is performing perfectly. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I am going to come to a stop, and I'm going to switch into sport mode, and let's just head straight down the canyon here. Yeah, and as Mike Philly Drone Life says, you know, you break your neck when you put it full stick forward, because it does knock that gimbal down, and that is normal behavior. That is nothing that you would not expect to happen with this drone. So anyway, we'll get around we're going to just head straight on forward here, and as soon as we get a little closer, we'll yaw around and look back our direction where we're at. But I'd say you know, it doesn't look too bad for looking straight into the sun there. And we're at about 14 meters per second, so that's roughly 31 miles an hour or so. So I'm going to yaw around sideways, and then we're going to roll the drone the other direction so we can keep going the direction we want to go. But so that way you guys can see the side of the canyon wall. And off in the distance there, you'll be able to see where we're standing there on the edge of the canyon. And right there is where we started our flight from. And oh, look at that! It tilts the gimbal as soon as I got full sideways. Let's go back into normal mode. As soon as I let off the stick, then it straightens out. Now, understand that is not unusual behavior. When you're in sport mode, you can get that kind of movement on the gimbal. So that is not necessarily a fault. Is that something that they could improve with a firmware update? That's very possible. But it's you know, anybody that flew the Mavic Air 2 is also familiar with that. So I mean, I remember when the Mavic Air 2 first became available, that was something that we saw in it too. So I'm going to slowly yaw around here, and we're going to get a look back at the river, and hopefully we'll get a look at the Swan Falls Dam up here. And as we come around here, there is the Swan Falls Dam. And then I moved the gimbal straight forward again here. So, and I need to turn the other way so that my remote is facing the drone, and I need to pick the gimbal up just slightly. Let's get that rule of thirds. And let's go this direction a ways here. And we can take a look at the dam, and you know, I don't think I put it into zoom mode. We may need to do that to see if we can zoom in and get a good shot of the dam. Now we can't fly over the dam because that's a no-fly zone because of the power plant there. But and I hear an aircraft behind me. I've got my spotter with me that she'll tell me if anything gets close to us here. He's way off in the distance though. Okay, I'm going to stop right here for a second, and I'm going to stop recording, and we are going to go into yeah, you know, evidently I don't have to go into zoom mode on this one. I guess I was thinking about the Mavic Air 2. We have to do that. So we're going to start recording again, and let me see if I can zoom in here. So I'm going to hold the function button down. And no, I'm not getting it. Oh, there we are. I was turning it the wrong way. So there's 2x zoom, and I'm sorry I wasn't terribly smooth there, but that is the Swan Falls Dam. And let's do a nice slow zoom back out. And like I said, I apologize for that quick zoom in. I was turning the scroll wheel the wrong way. Okay. So then we're going to turn around here and look back at the side of the canyon. We're down to 40% battery. We're almost in that orange zone where it's going to want to come back to us. But let's take a look at the side of the canyon here. I love looking at the strata on the side of the canyon. Let's head full stick forward here, and we'll go right on over the edge. Pick up the gimbal just slightly. There's definitely a beauty to this desert, this high desert up here. Well, I guess it's not exactly high desert because we're at about, oh, I don't know, probably 2,500 feet above sea level. But it is a sagebrush desert. And then off in the distance there, that is the Swan Falls Road that goes to the dam. And we'll just head right back our direction here. And again, we're just we're in normal mode, and we're almost to where the drone is going to want to do a return to home. And we'll I think we're going to let it do that because I'm kind of anxious to see. Now, this drone does not have precision landing, but it is kind of interesting to see how close it can get to the landing pad here. And I think you'll find it's pretty darn accurate. So I don't think you can see that trail through the desert there. This is Bureau of Land Management, BLM land. I can't believe that is anything authorized at all. Just wanted to see what that wide spot there was. Pick the camera back up. We're going to steer over the top of, I've shown you this many times, where the compass that's in the ground here. I think the Boy Scouts have rebuilt this a few times, and I think if you look real close, there's in rocks there. I think it says "I love you, Mother" or something like that. Yeah, right there. Yep, I love you, Mom. Very cool. And picked up that gimbal real quick, and there we are over there. We'll do a quick flight over the top of us the other direction, and then we'll bring it back in for a landing here. Let's drop a little altitude, and here we are right here. You can see the overlook. And that's Sarah and I right there. And listen to that drone. There we are. There's some folks walking along the rim there. Okay, let's bring this guy back home, and let's just hit a return to home here. I'm going to slowly bring it around, and we'll see how close it gets to the landing pad. I doubt it'll hit it. We'll probably have to stop in the middle there, but we're gonna hit return to home right now. Come to a stop, and I'm going to hit return to home on the controller, and that is that button right there. And the drone took the command, and here it comes. It's going to its return to home altitude of 50 meters. And that's where I like to set it. A lot of people will set their RTH at 30 meters or so. I like to get mine pretty high. In fact, often I'm at, in fact, it's telling us low battery return to home. I often like to set it at 60 meters. I like to make sure that I've got plenty of leeway. And there we are, right down there. Drone's directly above us and coming down. We'll see how close we get here. It's definitely off a little ways. So it's not going to hit the landing pad, so I'm going to pick up the camera, and we are going to cancel that. And we're going to bring it home, and we're going to do a hand landing here. You can hear it, it's wanting to land. Yeah, Sarah's got this, so. So anyway, there we go. We just did a little hand landing with this guy because it didn't look like it was going to hit the pad. So let's stop recording and give me just a second, and we'll do a quick conclusion. Well, it might not be quick, but we'll do a conclusion. Hey, okay, guys, the Mini 2, the DJI Mini 2, We had a nice successful flight over the canyon and no death spirals. It performed perfectly, and I'm quite sure that the video is going to look really good too. I mean, we just had a perfect day to fly today, a nice blue sky day, so a lot of fun to be out here flying the drone. Anyway, I guess that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. But most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now. I get a lot of people asking me what it says on this monument here. So this is really just telling about you know, when the monument was built and how this all came about. And this next one here is a little bit about the natural area and when it was dedicated. And again, it's managed by the Bureau of Land Management. So I've had a lot of people ask me what these say, and I've had them on other videos, so I thought I'd show it. And there are some signs here on the rim, so we can take a look at these as well. We'll take a look at what it says on these signs on the rim here. So this one is just basically explaining the raptors and the kind of birds that you're going to see here, and it is fascinating. You see a ton of raptors out here. Obviously, it's a birds of prey area, hence the name. So that's what it looks like. And there's the canyon down there. Let's go look at the next one here. And the next one here again is about the peregrine falcons and how they are able to dive for their prey, and you know, showing you how they nest. It says 75% of the young die in the first year. I did not know that, but prairie falcons are sensitive to human disturbance, so observe all raptors from a safe distance. So in other words, you don't want to be digging around in their nests or anything. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So the next one here is basically talking about the geology of the Snake River Canyon. So it's essentially layers and layers of basalt from various volcanic activity, and then of course roughly 10,000 years ago you had the big geological event when the Bonneville, the natural Bonneville Dam burst and sent a flood of water down this area. So there's boulders and rocks here from miles away that are here in the canyon, and this one kind of explains all that. And let me just kind of do a slow pan over the canyon here, and obviously you have seen this before from the drone, but we will show it here on the Osmo Action as well. And there we are. Okay, so I hope that answers some questions, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.